Welcome, everybody. My name is Meredith. Welcome back to Metta practice. Welcome to everybody online. Is anybody here tonight new to meditation or new to meditating here at the Dharmabum Temple? Okay, well, for anybody who might be online, who's new to us or this meditation, know that regardless of your meditation experience, this meditation is guided, but it also includes some silent spaces to allow you to settle in. In this type of meditation, we center our attention on the silent repetition of simple phrases instead of anchoring our attention to our breath. Sometimes when we're newer to this type of meditation, we can feel a little bit of awkwardness or even some discomfort when we practice, and that's okay. It's not unusual. And I want you to know that this practice is very flexible. So there's no need to spend time during the meditation struggling or frustrated or anxious. When we practice metta, the first recipient of the loving kindness in our practice is ourselves. And we always start with ourselves because we're building a foundation of self-compassion, recognizing that when we're able to extend goodwill and patience to ourselves, then we can authentically extend it to other people. So be patient and kind to yourself tonight. Give yourself the space to sit with anything that might arise within you. And know that you can adjust the phrases for yourself to feel more authentic if that's necessary. The phrases that we'll use tonight are pretty common. They are, may I be happy and safe. May I be healthy. May I live with ease and gratitude. And the last phrase, may I live with ease, just means that the things in day-to-day life, like work and family and daily living, may those things not be such a struggle. So if during the meditation you find that your mind has wandered off, just like in any other meditation, just gently bring your attention back to silently repeating the phrases to yourself. So the only other thing I want to say before we get started is that a few things tend to come up for people during this type of practice, and they're little struggles, mostly around thinking that we're trying to force ourselves to generate feelings of love or like for the particular people that we're calling to mind, where those feelings don't already exist. So first and foremost, we're not trying to do that. So when I guide you to think about a difficult person, I'm not cueing you to think about them because the goal is for you to figure out a way to like them or forgive them for something that they've done that hurt you. Those things might eventually happen, but that's not the root of what we're sitting here doing tonight. The people that we concentrate on are meditation objects, but we're actually cultivating kindness within ourselves. That's the practice, and that's the simplest way to put it. The use of the term loving kindness often throws people into thinking that somehow we're trying to generate feelings of love or like for the person or people that we're focusing on. And sometimes we just can't. And we feel frustration or confusion or just stuck because we just simply can't do it. So the good news is, and the truth is, that we're not trying to do that at all. The people that we're thinking about during the meditation are just like triggers. We locate them or we call them into our mind and we focus on them, because these people fall into categories for us, like loved one, difficult person, neutral person. And we have an emotional response when we call them to our mind. And our practice is to cultivate kindness within ourselves, regardless of the category of person that we call to mind. And this practice just really allows us to have enough time and space to discover what our feelings of kindness are. So over time, kindness will arise regardless of who or what we encounter in our daily lives. So the first step, though, is to feel what kindness feels like to us. And so that's where we start. And kindness, it's not new to most of us. We've experienced kindness. Every time that you feel pleasure in seeing someone else do well, or you're patient with someone who's struggling or somebody who's difficult, or you're considerate of the needs of other people, that's kindness. You've also probably experienced what it's like to be on the receiving end of kindness, real kindness, not just someone's niceness. Because there's a difference between niceness and kindness. Kindness involves the well-being or the welfare of the other person, whether you like them or not. And niceness is behavior that's centered on being liked. So kindness allows us to recognize that when people act poorly, that's an expression of their own pain, or their own frustration, or their own suffering, which actually causes them to continue to suffer, whether they're aware of it or not. So in metta meditation, we're not trying to create something that's unfamiliar to us. We're just connecting with our own innate kindness and cultivating it, like working a muscle to strengthen it. So let's begin our meditation tonight. Go ahead and get comfortable. I'm going to try not to fall off this cushion. Okay, so find yourself a comfortable seated position. If you're in a chair, you can sit a little bit forward on the chair enough so that your feet are flat on the floor and your back is straight. And if you need to put a cushion behind your back for support or under your feet, you can get up and grab an extra cushion. That's totally okay. If you're seated on a cushion on the floor, just try to sit so that your knees are lower than your hips and your back is straight. Okay. As we begin, if you'd like, you can gently close your eyes. If closing the eyes doesn't work for you, you're welcome to just direct your gaze downward, however it's comfortable for you. Just allow your vision to rest and be however it's going to be. Now, whether your eyes are open or closed, begin to notice any area or areas of your body that are holding on to tension. Try to soften and release any tension you're holding on to. Allow your awareness to come all the way into your body and give yourself a minute to settle into this space, right here, right now. When you notice any areas of tension, try sending your next breath there to relax and release whatever you're holding on to. Let's start by taking 3 slow, deep breaths together. Breathing in through the nose, filling up your lungs with a slow, steady inhale. And breathing out, releasing all the air, slow and controlled. Once again, breathing in, fill up your lungs. Breathing out, release all the air. Last time, fill up. Breathe in all the way to your collarbones. And release all the way down. And when you're ready, return to the natural rhythm of your breath. Begin to gently notice the flow of your natural breath going in and out through the nostrils or in and out through the mouth. There's no need to modify your breath for the rest of the meditation. Just stay with your natural breath. Notice your posture. While remaining comfortable, try keeping the crown of your head reaching up toward the sky, your back straight, and your shoulders relaxed. You can gently pull them down away from your ears. Your chin can slightly tilt downward, and maybe take a second to release any tension you might be holding on to in your jaw. Whether your eyes are open or closed, come to notice the tiny muscles around your eyes. Relax your eyes. Relax your face. And now begin to remember a time when you looked at another person or an animal, like your pet, or maybe a baby, with love and kindness. Think of that memory, and as you recall this experience of a beloved person or animal, pay close attention and notice the sensations that arise in and around your eyes. Maybe those sensations give rise to feelings of warmth, softness, tenderness, or cherishing. Let those feelings become established as you sit for a minute and recall this memory. Now, staying with those feelings, turn your attention back toward your whole body and see if those feelings of tenderness, warmth, and kindness can fill your inner awareness of yourself so that you can observe with kindness everything that's arising within you. Allow yourself to settle into an awareness of the sensations arising in your body, including your breathing, the beating of your heart, and the contact your body's making with your chair or cushion, the floor, and your clothing. When you're ready, keep your awareness within yourself and repeat in your mind, "May I be safe and happy. May I be healthy. May I live with ease and gratitude. May I be safe and happy. May I be healthy. May I live with ease and gratitude." Gently continue to repeat these words to yourself at a pace and with enough space so it feels natural and comfortable for you. May I be safe and happy. May I be healthy. May I live with ease and gratitude. May I be safe and happy. May I be healthy. May I live with ease and gratitude. Now slowly and gently begin to let go of your concentration on yourself and begin to bring to mind a person or a group of people that you care for deeply, that you find easy to like, or whose well-being is important to you. Maybe it's a friend or a group of people who have cared deeply for you. It can be anyone who easily brings up feelings of love, kindness, and ease. Just like you, they also want to feel happiness and at peace. Offer this kindness and support to your friend or loved one, wishing them well by repeating to yourself, may you be safe and happy. May you be healthy. May you live with ease and gratitude. May you be safe and happy. May you be healthy. May you live with ease and gratitude. May you be safe and happy. May you be healthy. May you live with ease and gratitude. Now gently let the image of your loved one go. And when you're ready, come to imagine someone or a group of people that you have neutral feelings for. Nothing strongly positive or negative. You don't have to know them well. You don't really have to know them at all. Maybe you see them around sometimes. A cashier at a store, or a server in a restaurant. Maybe it's the person who was standing in line with you while you were waiting to pay for something. Maybe they're a stranger you noticed in passing somewhere. Whoever you choose. Once you have them firmly in your mind, remember that just like you, they are a being with feelings. Their feelings and perceptions are as real and important to them as yours are to you. And just like you, they want to feel safe and happy. Offer your kindness and support to them by repeating to yourself, may you be safe and happy. May you be healthy. May you live with ease and gratitude. May you be safe and happy. May you be healthy. May you live with ease and gratitude. May you be safe and happy. May you be healthy. May you live with ease and gratitude. And now gently let your neutral person go and begin to call to mind a person or a group of people that you find difficult or who bring up conflicting or negative feelings for you. Maybe there's someone close to you, like a family member or a loved one, with whom you're having a tough time right now. Maybe it's someone you don't like, or someone who's done something to you or to someone you love that caused harm. Call them to mind and remember that being kind does not mean you approve of, allow, or tolerate what you find objectionable in their beliefs, their words, and their actions. Your kindness toward them does not lessen your opposition to what they believe, say, and do. Also remember that, like you, they are a person who has experiences and feelings. Offer your kindness to them by repeating to yourself, may you be safe and happy. May you be healthy. May you live with ease and gratitude. May you be safe and happy. May you be healthy. May you live with ease and gratitude. May you be safe and happy. May you be healthy. May you live with ease and gratitude. And now begin to let your difficult person go. And when you're ready, gently begin to expand your awareness outward and come to imagine all people, all animals, and all sentient beings. Sometimes, if we listen, we can hear noises that remind us of all the others in existence. Noises of traffic, planes overhead, people talking. Sometimes it's quiet, but people and animals pop into our minds. We can allow our imagination to run, or we can sit comfortably in awareness of all beings. Whatever manifests for you can be filled with kindness. Repeat to yourself, may all beings be safe and happy. May all beings be healthy. May all beings live with ease and gratitude. May all beings be safe and happy. May all beings be healthy. May all beings live with ease and gratitude. May all beings be safe and happy. May all beings be healthy. May all beings live with ease and gratitude. Does anybody have any questions? Did anything challenge you tonight? Anything you noticed that you think is worth sharing?
It feels like when I slow down and take the time to really cultivate loving kindness with myself, that like it's exponential when I try to get it on. But if I'm struggling with myself, it's sputtering.
Mm-hmm.
It's, you know,
It's like what seeds you plant and what you water, you know. Yeah, when I'm impatient with myself or when I'm frustrated, it can be more challenging to lead with kindness. And when I give myself a lot of space, like this time of year is rough. It's hard to find parking spaces. There's too many people. You get to the store, they don't have what you want, you know, whatever it is. People are in a bad mood. But if you look for kindness instead of negativity that you invariably run into, you might find that there's a lot more of it out there. You know, somebody's willing to hold a door for you.
I've been encountering that a lot. I use like little inconveniences as like a little joke opportunity for other people, and then just like abrupt the ridiculousness of it all, right?
Mm-hmm. It was funny. Somebody the other day was saying the stuff that we find annoying, instead of letting it be annoying, it's almost like they're good reminders to bring us back to the present moment.
Mm-hmm.
They remind us that this is what's unfolding in the present moment. It doesn't have to mean more or less than that. So rather than letting it like fester inside your body and generate a feeling, just see it as a reminder to you're just coming back to the present moment, whatever that is, over and over again. Anything else pop into anybody's head while they were sitting for 25 minutes trying to be kind? So I've talked before, and I talked a little bit earlier about a few things that this meditation, this loving kindness meditation, is not. But I was looking around earlier for some examples of things that exemplify what kindness is, to give us some things to think about. And I think one of the biggest things is kindness begins by recognizing that humans and animals, and really all sentient beings, are feeling beings. And to varying degrees, we feel and perceive and are conscious of joy and happiness and peace and contentment and well-being. And we also feel unhappiness and distress and pain and suffering. But given the choice, most people and animals opt to feel safe and content rather than frightened and angry. We all want the same thing. Kindness recognizes that the most fundamental need of any being is to seek well-being and to be free from suffering. Even the people we detest, they are ultimately concerned with their own well-being and their own freedom from suffering, just like we are. We may not agree with their methods, but kindness is a recognition of this most basic solidarity that we have with each other, and the sharing of a common drive to find fulfillment and escape suffering. Kindness also recognizes that the desire for happiness is in itself hard. It's a struggle because life happens and happiness does not always come easily. And it's not permanent. And the desire to be free from suffering is equally hard because suffering can come unexpectedly at any moment. And this is life. And kindness recognizes that in this way, we're also all the same. Kindness involves some empathy. It's the willingness to see the world from another person's point of view, the willingness to walk a mile in another person's shoes. Kindness is wishing others well, even if we don't want them in our life. And kindness is friendliness and being considerate and being generous. Kindness is a basic building block of compassion. When kindness meets suffering, kindness has the potential to transform into compassion. And compassion is the desire to help others be free from suffering. Kindness is the basis for shared joy. When our kindness meets with someone else's happiness or good fortune, it becomes empathetic joy. Kindness with awareness that we're all feeling beings who prefer happiness to suffering is boundless. We can potentially have a kind regard for any sentient being, regardless of gender, race, nationality, political views, or even species. We can even be kind when we don't like the person we're being kind to. And the last thing is that genuine kindness fills us up and connects us to other people, allowing us to address problems that come up in ways that money alone doesn't. And also, I think in ways that technology alone cannot. So we have about 10 more minutes. Does anybody have anything they want to bring up, or would you rather sit for another 10 minutes? And we'll just do loving kindness to ourselves. Want to sit? Yeah.
I have a small question.
Uh-huh.
Is this similar to transcendental meditation?
I couldn't tell you. I don't really know much about transcendental meditation, to be honest with you. This practice is really just generating it's like a kindness reflex inside yourself. And like I said earlier, we meditate on different groups of people that trigger us differently. And that repetitive exposure to those feelings, when I tell you to bring to mind somebody that's difficult for you, there's a reaction inside your body. So when you meet somebody outside in the world that's difficult, eventually through this repetitive training of your brain toward kindness, kindness will arise before a reaction of anger or disinterest. And that's really the heart of this metta practice. But I don't really know anything about transcendental meditation. I mean, if you want to tell me a little bit, I could tell you if we're close, but I don't.
I'm certainly not like well versed, but from what I understand, you pick a phrase that that doesn't mean anything to you, but you associate with feelings of loving kindness. And you just meditate on that.
Oh, okay, that's ringing some bells for me. I don't know that it's the same. I mean, we have a pretty specific intention when we do loving kindness meditation. I think the confusion for a lot of people with metta is that when they first start to practice, what I hear a lot is when we got to the person that was difficult or the neutral person, with the neutral person, people panic and they don't know who to pick. And that's why I say it can be anybody, just like make up somebody in your head. It doesn't matter. It's a neutral person. It's somebody that you have neither strong positive or negative feelings for, because you're going to meet people like that out there. And what we're trying to avoid, I think, with a neutral person is having indifference, right? We want to have equanimity, which is like steady balance of emotional response. And part of the problem with neutral people is that because you don't have a strong positive or negative feeling about them, like you just think of a random tribe somewhere on the planet that you don't have any connection to, it's really easy to be indifferent to people that we don't have a connection to. But what we want is still to be able to respond with kindness, not indifference. I will often talk about the 4 Brahma Viharas, which are loving kindness, compassion, equanimity, and sympathetic joy. And each of those has a near and a far enemy that helps us pay attention to what we're actually feeling. Because sometimes we think we're shooting for kindness, but what we're getting is close, but maybe it's indifference, or maybe it's even pity. Compassion is one of those things where sometimes you think you're being compassionate, but what you're actually feeling for the person is pity. That's the near enemy. The far enemy, those are obvious. So for compassion, it's cruelty. You've got compassion over here, and cruelty is the opposite. But when you get up close to compassion, sometimes it's pity. It's not really compassion. For loving kindness, we get stuck close. The near enemy is sentimentality, which is our own feelings. And that's why we focus on different groups, that we've compartmentalized of having these responses to somebody that we love, right? That's easy to send loving compassion feelings, well wishes to people we already like or love. It's already how we feel about them. That's our own sentimentality. It gets challenging when I say, think of somebody you hate, because what's there is not warm and fuzzy, but you're not sending the well wishes to the person because of the way you feel about them. That's not what we're doing. We're trying to train ourselves to respond with kindness, even when faced with something that we don't prefer or we don't like or we're morally opposed to. So for loving kindness, the near enemy is sentimentality. Like our own feelings can get in the way. The far enemy is ill will, right? You just pick a person you don't like. Yep, go die in a hole. That's it. That's ill will, right? Just go die in a hole. We don't want to be there either. It's obvious though, but it gets confusing when our own feelings sometimes are a little, with that sentimentality thing. It's the same with the person that you love. You can send them easily the well wishes, but it's because you love them. It's because of your own feelings. Equanimity, like I said, the near enemy is indifference. The far enemy is hatred. I have no connection to you, therefore you're not important. I hate you. Go die in a hole. That kind of thing. And then sympathetic joy is another one that I find to be really interesting, because the far enemy is jealousy. So if something great happens to somebody else, the far enemy is feeling jealous. But the near enemy is hypocrisy. Because you can say, well, that's just great for you. But in your head, you're thinking, what about me? You always put yourself in there. And sympathetic joy doesn't do that. Sympathetic joy says, whatever happened to you that's fabulous is fabulous for you all by yourself. I'm not involved. You can be happy for other people without thoughts of yourself. And so that's why I find the four Brahma-viharas and their near and far enemies to be really helpful when I'm sitting and thinking, if there's somebody that I think I'm feeling compassion for, but I just really feel bad for them, that's pity. Compassion means that you recognize the suffering and you want to help them not suffer. Not that you just feel bad for them. It's almost like these near enemies kind of stop short, and you don't really go all the way to loving kindness or to pure kindness or compassion or whatever it is that you're practicing on. So I think with transcendental meditation, my very fuzzy remembrance of this is that you are given a mantra to meditate on, but I don't really know enough about why. It's just something to keep your mind busy, I think. The Tibetans do a lot of visualization when they meditate in their practices. That's another way to keep your mind busy. They visualize things. I don't know if you've ever done any Tonglen meditation. That one's really interesting. You interact with suffering directly. You visualize. So we call people to mind, right? We go through 4 different categories of people. You call people to mind and yourself as well in Tonglen meditation. But you start to breathe, you start to see the suffering of the person that you're visualizing, whether it's yourself or someone near to you. And you visualize their suffering as black smoke, black, thick, hot smoke. And you breathe it in, you synchronize your breathing with the visualization. You breathe in the suffering, the black smoke, and it transforms in your heart space. And you breathe out whatever relief they need. So these are all just things to kind of keep us focused. So I think with the transcendental meditation, the mantras are just something for your mind to do. In Zen, when we sit in Zazen, there's no mantra, there's no visualization, it's just silence. These are just different forms of practice. And so, I could be way off base, but I think with transcendental meditation, it's like counting your breath. You can count your breath because some people can't sit in silence. Their minds jump around too much. They need something to anchor onto. So in Zazen, you can count, if you need to, you can count beads That's why people wear beads, so that they can count the in breath and the out breath, because you're anchoring to your breath. And here we're anchoring to these phrases. And like I said, these phrases are flexible. The other thing I did not mention earlier, and it didn't come up tonight, but it has come up in the past, if you are having a rough time for whatever reason, and you get to a part of a meditation where, and I think this pretty much goes with any meditation, where you're asked to focus on different groups of people or different things, and you're just struggling and you either can't get past it, or you're super uncomfortable, or you get triggered, or whatever it is, you can always just go back to yourself, because those feelings are trying to tell you that you need to focus on yourself. You need more compassion. You need more kindness. And so it's perfectly okay at any time, for any reason, to just go back to yourself if you need to. And then when you feel better, you can try again. But it's not worth sitting in meditation and feeling frustrated or anxious or stuck. It's better to just go back to something that you know you can do and try again. Do we have anything else? It's almost my bedtime. One more thing. Yeah.
I was just gonna say that what helps me with the loving kindness is the concept of, if one person's suffering, we're all suffering. So I want to do my part to generate loving compassion, because it's like, just if I'm stuck in like self-will or whatever, right? And like, I want to do my part with alleviating suffering in the world. And so I'm going to put some love up, and like, it just, it's like throwing a rock down the hill.
Yep.
It just gets it going.
Yep.
Of course I want to do my part to alleviate suffering.
Yeah. When you're able. And sometimes in life makes us unable. And then we need to come back to ourselves. And during those times, it's important to remember. Yeah, always, always.
Yeah.
All right. If you're comfortable, I'd like to close with a dedication of merit, and then we're going to have our lovely host, Erica, come up and do some announcements. Okay, so if you're comfortable, you can bring your palms to heart center. May the benefit of this practice be transferred to all beings in all directions. May all beings be at peace and free from suffering. May any merit gained from this practice be transferred to Pam during her time of transition, and to Mark and the rest of Pam's family during their time of grief. Thanks, everybody. Hope you had a good night. Drive safely.
Quick little announcement. Hi everyone, I'm Erica, tonight's host. We opened the Dharma Zone Temple 18 years ago to introduce Buddhist practice to those